All right, everybody. Sorry about the delay there. Had to brush my teeth and stuff before I begin. We are going to be working some more on the Otome characters again today, because I want to go ahead and really start like locking in and focusing on making the game. So let me just bring up clip real fast. Hey, what's up, Annie? How are you doing today? And it's just taking a second here to load. I gotta bring my references up. All right, let me go ahead and bring this over here so you can see. So I made some progress from last time. I did adjust the face a little bit. I added some texture to the vest, added some colors and whatnot. I was trying to make him a little bit more masculine, but it didn't quite. I think I still need to work on like the jaw shape and whatnot. But I also made like the eyes like a lot like rounder, so he looked a lot more like friendly. Before he looked kind of like cold and with like the straight across eyes and all that kind of stuff. So did some adjustments there. Hey, Pensy, how's it going? So it looks a little bit better than it did last time, but actually I still have the other one here. Let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah. See, that was like the original face that we had here. And then I changed it up just a little bit. Try to give him more of a jaw, you know. But yeah, we're gonna keep working on this. Yeah, I'm pretty tired too. I actually almost considered canceling stream because I stayed up way too late playing Expedition 33 after I was done working on commission stuff for the night, and I lost track of time. So I finally beat Sprung, so that's nice. At least I'll have the double turn picked out now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, none of this is like final here. We're just, working on things, figuring out what exactly we like, what we don't like. So now that I've got a front view for now, let me start on maybe like a side view here. And we're going to turn down the opacity. Oh, wait, that's the wrong layer. I just love it when I do things on the wrong layer. That's my favorite. It's my favorite shit. There we go. All right, I'm gonna flip it this way because I have a little bit easier time for some reason. I guess because like I'm right-handed. So let's get the cube brush here. Let's make it nice and big. And I always struggle with like side views, so I know you want to like kind of like that. I mean, yeah, we do have like, of course, like the guide and all, but doesn't always work as intended. So we're just gonna do a big broad like sketch here. Actually, that should probably back a little bit more here. Maybe like down like that. That comes down. That. Got a little bit of the other side shown. Just a bit there. Hey, Feisty, how's it going? Glad you could make it. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm still working on Lumen's face here. Trying to make him a little more masculine, but I don't know, for some reason when it comes to like character sheets and especially like facing things, I'm more used to like a three-quarters view when I draw stuff. But we're gonna roll with this for now, and as I develop it, and especially do like expressions and stuff whatnot, his face is gonna get more masculine. But I wanted to make the eyes a little bit rounder so they looked more like inviting, a little nicer. Oops, did not mean to do that. Keep clicking all the wrong things here. Sorry. Just kind of working on the side view. And let's see, so he's got like another collar here that kind of comes out on this side. Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely work on that and them in a little while here. All right, so this would be the one with the glove. It's also going to be fun trying to figure out how to do the hair from the side here. Like I said, I'm not always good at the side view. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward kind of to designing like the kind of barista outfit for the other characters. I guess this would eventually start to kind of go back like this. Probably be kind of like that. And then I'm gonna have like where the glasses are. Yeah, I picked it out of the references that you picked out for him. Let's make sure he has a bit more of a donk here. Just a bit more. But this come a little bit more down where the back would be. Oh yeah, you did a good job, my love. Because I was struggling with him a bunch before, so let's kind of just do the shapes here, the shoe. There you go. A little sketch. Let's actually bring that out. See it a little bit better. And let's bring this down to like 10 or 20 maybe. And we bring this down to like 50. Try to give him a little bit of a nose bridge there. Like I said, I'm not really. I'm like pretty much like terrible at like side views. Actually, let's do that maybe. Yeah, I pretty much never draw my characters from the side. But that's okay. We're gonna do our best. It looks okay so far. Oh yeah, like the OG Bleach and Naruto like soundtracks just had like nonstop bangers. I feel like this should come in more. That's better. Yeah, I need to catch up on the latest season soon. Also, sorry if I'm not talking as much today. Like I said, I'm pretty tired. Yeah, it's always difficult to figure out anime hair from different angles here too. Like how they actually work. Yeah. I'm also trying not to zoom in too much so I can still get like the the silhouette, like the profile. I think the hardest part is going to be figuring out how the back of the head looks. All right. And then at some point, I think the hair would start to get pushed back maybe this way, like towards the back. Like it'd be combed over for the most part, and then kind of flop over the back of the head. Like going this way, I think. I don't really have a reference for this, so we're just gonna try our best. We kind of want to maintain the little hairline here with the undercut. That's probably good enough. Whew. Okay, I think that's pretty decent. That we'll probably clean these lines up a little bit once we get to the end here. All right, so it's got another color here for the vest. Comes underneath. Let's get this. Needs to be pretty small here. All right, let's get this one first. Actually, that goes down a lot farther. Let me. Got it actually going down under the text here. Want to make sure we're pretty consistent here, so make sure that this looks a little bit more 3D there. And it wouldn't be 100% sharp here on the end. And I don't know, it's always hard drawing things that I rarely draw, so I certainly don't have the visual library for absolutely everything, so we learn as we go, right? That's probably pretty good, and then let me make sure that I got the space I need here. For the vest. A little bit of a trim there. Let's kind of put our buttons. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. They actually need to come down. So I need to space them out a little bit better here. There we go, that's better. Uh, and this other side just has and it goes like this. This is shirt here. And put a little indication of a third button down there. Yeah, I probably should have done another sketch underneath this just to make sure that I had everything mapped out correctly here, but that's okay. It will still work. No, that's cool. I'm glad you're working on art too. We have a little co-working setup here, which is nice. It's always nice to work together, help motivate each other. Oops. Bit of the shirt there. I'm bring this in just a bit. A little closer to his body. I have the shoulder area a little bit sticking out a little bit, maybe like they're kind of like maybe pads or something. I don't know. I'm not a fashion expert. I don't know why this looks weird. It's kind of blocky, but it'll be fine. Actually, that's the wrong way. So it goes from, where's the thumb? Am I thinking about this wrong? I think I am. Hold on. So it's turned a little bit more. So actually goes. Oh, that's okay, Pensy. No worries. Well, I hope you have a good day, and I hope you're, nothing's nothing's crazy going on with your sister or anything. Goes this way. Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Nice and wholesome reason there. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back through and clean this up a little bit. But then again, it's just a reference sheet too. It's not meant to be like a finished artwork, so. All right, let's make sure I save because that's important. Get the donk going here. One of these days, I will also learn how to draw shoes. All right, we're almost done with the side view. Hell yeah. That's exciting. All right, just gotta get this hand. Let's get rid of this. Make it easier to see. I don't know. I also think it's important to, just a little side note here, for artists to show that they're not good at everything all the time. So, like, it depends, of course, on where you are in your art journey, but I know a lot of people get, like, intimidated by when they see artists that appear to be, like, know, like, everything that they're doing. I think it's a little more disarming to be able to see when, like, artists that you admire also struggle a bit too. So try not to hide the fact that I do have, like, quite a bit of weaknesses as well in my artwork. So there we go. It's not too bad for a side view. I don't know if I really need to clean it up all that much. I think it's probably okay for what we need it for. I mean, a lot of it is, fake it till you make it until you can, like, build up your skills, build up your visual library enough that you can be confident with, everything. And like I said, most of the time, unless, like, most non-artists aren't gonna notice, like, any, like, minor mistakes or whatever, unless they're, like insanely blatant. Like, there's just no way around it. All right, I think that looks pretty good. We're not going to worry about whether these folds make too much sense either here. This is really just like a general guide just to make sure that the outfit and the design looks at least believable and presentable from more than one angle. So it's also good practice, like even if it's not perfect, I could always go back in with like references at some point and you know, go through and fix it up. Well, I also hate like watching tutorials where it just like does like such a drastic jump in the how finished it is out of nowhere. It's just like what the fuck. Oh, I didn't put the glasses, but that's okay. I mean, you can mostly see them, and I could always go over the top with a on another layer. What? Why is this not closed in here? Oh, what are you doing? This actually would have a bit of or overlaps that way. There'd be a bit of a space there. And then select invert. Fill that. All right, let's put this stuff in folders. Oh, I didn't give him his fucking freckles. Let's go ahead and fix that. I was like, why is he look not complete here? Oh, it's better. Yeah, I gotta. So I'm working really hard, of course, to finish the current commission I'm working on, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm gonna start recording my tutorials for Patreon because I gotta get that going. You know, give people actually like a reason to sign up and help support me there. So I gotta have things on it. I mean, there is some stuff on there. Like I've been posting, you know, trying to post like the Atomi stuff like a little bit ahead of time so people get like a sneak preview. You get access to the Discord, and you get access. You've got a tier for joining the OC art raffle. So those of you already in the Discord, make sure you check. There might be something in there where you might be able to join for 3 months for free. So make sure you check that out. I wonder if I can pin it or highlight it so you guys can find it easier. Especially those of you that want to really learn how I do every little thing. I'm going to be doing little tutorials with like a voiceover explaining like, what I'm doing and how I do it. I'll make sure that my model is not on the screen. That way you guys can see all of Clip Studio Paint and everything. So it's not just a mystery as to what I'm doing with like my layers and my layer styles. All right, cool. Hell yeah. Let's put... I don't think your art looks like AI at all. Like, I think some people are just talking out their ass. I mean, hopefully my art doesn't look like AI either. I mean, I don't think it does, but who knows what other people think, right? I don't want to be accused of AI, because fuck that. I'm really pissed about that they're trying to build all these giant AI centers, like fucking data centers everywhere that are like just so bad for not only the environment but the community and stuff. Nobody fucking wants them. And these asshole billionaires are coming through. I fucking hate billionaires. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why, like, as soon as you become a billionaire, you become a total, like, piece of shit who doesn't care about anybody else. When I become a billionaire, it's not gonna be like that. I'm gonna do good things with my money. Because that is way more fulfilling. Ooh, good idea. Let me stretch. Ooh, 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 ooh. Some musical stretch. I got some water. Ooh. All right. Side view. Uh, now my least favorite is the back. I don't know why. The back for some I think it's because designing the hair from the back, I think, is the most difficult thing. But it might not be too bad with this haircut. Again, these are things that I don't draw very often, so it is a good thing that I am creating these things because it does give me much needed practice. I gotta look up like how the back of a vest looks too. Let me do that real quick. They actually look like they're hella basic on the back. Like, really basic. Holy shit. Okay. Well, I mean, that makes it easy, I guess. Actually, I kind of like this one. So, please let me save the image. No, it's an 8 different file. That's okay, I can just look at it. I'm not going to be able to see Twitch here for a moment, guys, so bear with me. Alright, let's do our little sketchy sketch here first. Alright, this vest also does have a little bit of a collar, so we're gonna put a little bit of the under collar here. And then we need the shirt collar as well. Come on, just a little bit more. Like that. Center. And around here. And this one has like a little, some straps that are kind of like going like this. Wait, it's the other side that's overlapped. And like that. And then there's like a little thing here. And there's some tension points. Of course, we have to have like a little bit of tension from the back itself. Have it like sit over the buns. All right, well, that's actually pretty simple. Hell yeah. Sleeve. Something like that. Let's see, and then you have the watch on this hand, so we gotta make sure there's a space for it here. Gotta remember I had the shoulder of the shirt kind of coming out more. Like that. This one's got the glove. So I think it kind of goes across like that. And then a strap that kind of comes over the top, so you can't really see that on that side. But where does it connect on the back is the question I need to answer. So I got it going. Let's see, it goes across here. So it would have to connect somewhere around on the other side too. So we're going to say it connects on the same side on the underside there. Just for the sake of prosperity. I'm so good at planning things out, guys, let me tell you. It's okay, I don't think there's going to be any shots really from him from behind, but this is also so, like, you know, if anybody wants to do, like, fan art or anything, they're able to draw Mr. Lumen here. Yeah. Fucking James Hetfield is ridiculous. Alright, we'll have it kind of coming back this way. Trying not to make it too long. And then, hold on, got an idea. Duplicate. Boop, 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 boop. And if we flip them, and then turn them down to like 10%. There we go. That'll help. Let's see. Gotta try to find where I want the transition here. Again, the back view is not my exactly my figuring this out is gonna be the fun part. It looks convincing enough, at least on the sketch here. Give him a little bit more cake. Let's give him some pockets. Some cheek pockets here. All right. Let's have the shoes actually come up a little bit there. All right, we can work with that. Where is the other thing that I used for... Oh, it's in here. There it is. Aha! Aha! Ha, ha. Turn this down. And we're gonna do the hair last, because that's gonna be the part that's gonna piss me off, I'm sure. Oops, wrong brush. I think it's pretty funny that I don't really like Nickelback, but I like the covers for some reason. Maybe I just like this guy's voice better or something. Now I can't like front and say that I didn't like rock out to a little bit of Nickelback when I was younger when it first came out, but I got better. There's usually like this kind of thing on the back of pants. Kind of like the belt area up here. I don't even know if you can really see the front pockets from the back, but we're just kind of we're gonna pretend you can. I need to practice drawing butts. For as much as an ass guy I am, I really don't draw them that often, especially dude butts. So I might not be the guy to go to draw some yaoi for you if it involves drawing the butt. Doesn't mean I can't learn. Just not something I practice. Later, Cacho. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Let's see. I think we're actually gonna finish up the back of this on time here, which is pretty awesome because Havoc is going to be streaming Palia today. I'm probably gonna, when I get off of here, I'm gonna probably take a bit of a nap since I stayed up way too late last night. Got real excited about playing some Expedition 33, but I always lose track of time when I'm playing games, so Getting there. Let's go ahead and that and kind of do like a little bit of an indication teeth on the watch. Uh, feel like those. That's not going to be 100% accurate, but you know what? It's okay. It'll be alright. Way too many lines, but that's okay. Yeah, definitely need to practice some of these other views here. Eh, close enough. I'm not going to stress about it too much. Again, I'm probably not going to be really drawing this character from the back here, so I don't know. It is something I need to learn. Need to just have like a day where I just like a set a day out of the week for like studying stuff I'm weak at. That would probably be smart. I mean, for the most part, it looks believable enough, I think. Hey, what's up, Three Frogs? I'm gonna actually be wrapping up here in a sec. So I can get ready for Havoc stream. Hell yeah. I hope you got a good day at work. So good news, within the next probably 2 to 3 days, I'll probably be done with your commission, which I'm excited to finish up. Yeah, so Havoc is gonna stream at like oh yeah, but I also have like a so there's like a guaranteed delivery date thing also on VGen. So obviously I'm not gonna like rush it, but I do want to get it done before that delivery date just so I can maintain a good standing on the website. Like I don't know if that like drops my rating or whatever if I don't deliver it on time, so I want to keep my rating up. Oh, it's a visual novel, but like in a Tomy type. So basically, like, when you play like an Atomi, you have like different options to interact with the characters and build like relationships and whatnot. And you get different endings based on your interactions and the choices that you make, essentially. So certain endings you might like, you know, end up like romantically with another character. I mean, yeah, for the most part, but I don't know. I mean, a lot of like I personally haven't played through one yet, but I do play this other free to play game called Palia where you also can like date the NPCs and stuff. And it's kind of fun. It's just kind of like a just having like a slightly different kind of I don't know, like I guess like thought process while you're playing the game. Like, oh, I can do all this stuff in this cozy game, but I also would like to maintain my relationship with this like NPC or whatever because I like this NPC in particular. Yes, Betsy, you can hug them all. We should put Betsy as like a secret character you can unlock. And there'll be a hugging android. That'd be cute. But yeah, we're gonna try our best to make it that it'll appeal to all the demographics. So Havoc's a really good writer. So regardless of the dating aspect of it, the story is gonna be really good. I'm actually glad we're gonna be wrapping up here in a sec because I'm starting to get sloppy. Yeah, Havoc can explain it better than me. Listen to her. That looks good enough. Oh yeah. Let's make sure that some of these lines are a little more solid up here. Oh, for sure. Again, like Havoc would be the one to answer all those questions. Like I also get really bad about spoiling things, so I don't want to say too much. I just get really excited about it, and I just like, oh, what the heck? Where are the lines not closed? Why? Why are you like this? Dang it. I hate it when it does that. Alright, let me see if I can fix this. I might just have to do some of this manually. That's okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that manually. That's okay. I can do that. I'm a big boy. Yeah, well, I'll let you know if we decide to do anything fun like that. And my shoulder's getting sore too, so it's a good thing we're almost done for what we're doing today. It's really hard too, because like I'm really trying to get in like good shape again too. So like I'm trying to exercise and also like try not to hurt myself more. I gotta preserve my body so I can keep making art. You know, if I don't work on keeping my ticker and my chest running here, then I won't be able to keep making art. I've lost a ton of weight, which is great. I mean, I don't have a scale, but I already feel like way like better. So I'm excited about that. Oh, I'm sure with your toe that looked like a lot of blood on the Discord there. So I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to really pop into the Discord and interact with everybody. And I keep saying I'm gonna do it more, and then I just keep getting busy. So I'm sorry, guys. I promise I'm not ignoring anybody. Like I love all you guys. I don't know. I have a lot to do all the time. I pretty much don't get to relax till like, like midnight or so. All right. Hell yeah. Wonder if I can just duplicate these. Let me put these in folder. And we're gonna do lines. Green, and then this one will be green. That's the base. And this is spec view. Oh yeah. I can't vibe with Crocs. I'm sure they're super comfy. Crocs are just not for me. I kind of feel like they look like Kingdom Hearts shoes. Which I guess could be good if like, you're super into Kingdom Hearts. No offense to, like I said, to anybody that wears them. They're just not my preference of footwear. I actually took the time to get some pretty pretty pricey shoes, but they're gonna last like forever. I bought some Vessies and they're like waterproof and they breathe really well. They were like $180, but they were worth it. Like they're so comfortable and they look pretty decent, and I don't have to worry about stepping in puddles ever. I got those a while ago, so I like them. I want to get a pair of their boots at some point, but again, I gotta have like a much better income before I consider that again. Yeah, they're really cool. I actually learned about them because I used to watch the Trash Taste podcast, where it was supposed to be an anime podcast, but really they talked about like a bunch of different stuff. I would assume so. I mean, I like usually have trouble even finding like 13s because I wear size 13 shoes. But I'd have to go on the website and look and see what their sizing's like. All right, so we got a front, side, and back view. I think that's actually pretty good there. And then what I can do is I can throw like either some details or some expressions like up over here. I can work on shaping the face to be a little more masculine. Hey, it's okay. It's because you're champion side, Spency. We know this. All right, let me go ahead and all right, so I saved. So this is what we got for today. I think we did a pretty good job here. I definitely pushed past my comfort zone here. Of course, not everything's like 100,000% accurate, but you know what? We got like the outfit designed pretty well. This is a pretty decent reference sheet for me to at least go back on, so I don't forget how to draw the character. Uh, but yeah, we're just gonna keep plugging away until we have like a final result and we're happy with it and all that good stuff. So let me go ahead and throw you guys in the lobby here so we can do a wrap up. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today while I worked on my character reference sheet for our Atomi game that Havoc and I are working on. If you like the kind of content I do, please follow me to see when I go live. Consider subscribing, especially if you have Amazon Prime. There's a little button, makes it nice and easy. Again, I do have a Patreon where you can get exclusive rewards and sneak peeks of other things that I'm also working on. A lot of the Atomi stuff will actually be posted there ahead of time. You have access to the private Discord, and you can participate in the OC art raffle through the Patreon, so please check that out. Patreon.com/artonikivt. Self-plug over. I am going to be on Havoc stream a little bit later, probably around 7:30 or so, I think she's going to stream. So if you guys want to check her out, give her a follow. She's going to be playing the new Palia update, and I'll be playing with